Hey everybody, I'm doing something a little special today. It's my mom's birthday, and had she lived, she would have been 94 today. So today I'm making one of her signature meals, which is chicken and noodles in her honor. This is the first step. First step for chicken and noodles is boiling the chicken. Earlier in Mom's years, she went and did all the boiling of the chicken and then used that broth for the noodles. Later on, she started doing shake and bake and then just using chicken soup mix, I guess, for the noodle mix. Just a little shortcut. I mean, she did really good. Right up to the very end, she was still making dinner. Potatoes are ready to go. My grandma had shared with me that during the Depression, they didn't waste anything. So they washed their potatoes, and then when they skinned the potatoes, those skins were kept, and that became a potato skin soup. So that's just after a tablespoon of flour. So what she used to do is she would hill flour on the countertop and put a bit of a divot in the middle like that, and then that's where she'd crack her egg and then pull the flour into it. I've done it that way before, but I'm just going to do it this way today. Then you put some flour just on the top, and the next thing we're going to do is just roll this. So I'm going to roll this up, and then we're going to cut this down into noodles. So I'm just showing the double chop because sometimes Mom would actually have a third row. If there was a two egg noodle, there'd be a third roll on top, and I guess it just saves a little bit on speed. So once I get all of these noodles cut, the next thing that happens is that you unravel them. And I did put some flour on the top of this, on the top of the other noodles, the dough. And what you want to do is you really want to get all that dough worked into the noodles. So these are ready now to be taken over to the boiling chicken broth. Now the noodles are dropped in very slowly because you don't want them all to clump together. And now all of the flour that's left on the counter will also go into the broth. So you can see how thin the broth is right now. And we want it thin like that because we want these noodles to boil and be very soft. But once we get towards the end of cooking, I'm going to put in a nice little knob of butter and some thickening, which is just flour and water to make this thicker. Right here, we're ready for the noodles. So we're all ready to go here. So I'm ready to roll this out. Now you might notice how yellow my dough is, and that's because I'm using farm fresh eggs. And those farm fresh eggs are free range, and their yolk is really golden yellow. It's very beautiful. So I've got the frying pan loaded with ghee and a little bit of cooking oil. One of the things about cooking the chicken is that sometimes by the third or fourth piece you'll start getting black bits and burnt flour in here. So I'm trying to avoid that. So we'll see if that happens. Good thing about this is the chicken's already cooked. So all I'm doing is browning the flour. So this shouldn't take long at all. Mom's chicken and noodle dinner really was the best, and she was a great cook. She loved cooking, and that's what, whenever we went to go see her, it was like, what do you want for dinner? And she had her signature meals, like this one, chicken and noodles, or ham, potatoes, and cabbage, or green peppers and tomato sauce, which was actually the last meal that she cooked about 4 or 5 days before she died. She was actually up and making the hamburger patties as best she could. Yeah, I love you, Mom. And I miss you. Mom's meals always provided homemade goodness. But more than that, it was just being in the kitchen with her and testing things just like she did. And being asked, how do you think it is? Is that thick enough? So Mom's cooking meant way more than the food that she prepared. It was the love and the heart and soul that she put into it. That's what was important. And that's what I remember. I love you, Mom, so very much. I wish you were still here with us. You and Dad both. And there it is. Just need to put the coleslaw on. Thanks for spending the time with me to share with you the memories of my mom. What would have been her 94th birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Love you.